Be welcome to a new video. I just analyzed all of the Forex pairs and I'm going to be sharing my thoughts with you about what can we expect from the next week or the next upcoming weeks actually, because we have many pairs here that I'm going to be breaking down. So let's begin with USD CHF. As you can see, and first of all, we have never been so low in USD CHF on the last decade and a few years too. So we can really expect the unexpected. Hey, on the weekly, we are bearish. On the daily, we are bearish. And on the 4 hour, we are bullish, higher high, higher low. I do not count this as an elbow. So I want to play it safe here. Let's see how the market has been moving since we got to these levels. And as you can see, we have this clear support and resistance area. I'm going to be waiting for this price because I do not want to sell for a lower low until the last decade. So I'm going to be waiting for this price to create some bullish price action, break through, create a new higher high, so we can have a pullback to have a rejection of the last previous structure point, the zone. If this EMA can come all the way down here, it could be amazing, but I think it's a little bit far from the area as of now. So if we break through and have a good pullback, a good entry here, I could be buying. I don't know if this is going to happen this week or the next week, but we shall see. NCD USD, this one calls my attention because you can see we are bullish. On the daily, we are bearish, and on the 4 hour, we are bearish. The one thing that I have in my mind and that I put here so I do not forget, pullback on the daily. I see that this looks choppy, but we were on top of the area and we broke through. So I'm expecting a pullback, which can be a daily candlestick rejecting or just going to the upside. If you go to the 4 hour, basically what I want on the daily happened already on the 4 hour. I want still this pullback to then sell, and it looks like we had the pullback here. This thing is basically what I'm going to be expecting on the daily. It does look that this was the moment to sell, but this was not like a perfect rejection of the EMA, because the EMA is all the way up here. It wasn't a perfect rejection of the last previous structure point because it's basically right here, but it looks like we had a rejection. Now, that's why I'm waiting for for the daily to create some bullish price action, to have a pullback and a rejection to keep selling. Now, I don't know if this is going to happen. I'm happy that we did not create a new lower low, so we can have some bullish price action, but it's not really clear. So if anything, I'm just going to be waiting. But if this does not happen on the daily, I am not taking a trade here. GBP USD is going to be the next one. This one's also going to be confusing because we are bearish on the week by a few pips, to be honest. Let's see. By 3 pips, literally, on the weekly. On the daily, we are bearish. I had this amazing trade that I'm going to explain now. On the 4 hour, as you can see, support and resistance area. We came all the way up here, but we were still bearish. That called my attention. And I was just waiting for price to be under this zone. As you can see on the 1 hour, we were still bearish all the way from lower low to lower high. But I love how the price action moved, and we managed to be below the EMA. Once we were below the EMA, I put my trade, and I was not expecting such a big movement. As you can see, I closed the trade halfway of what the price action did, but actually even more if you want to count this. But it is what it is. I'm very happy with this trade, very clean, nothing weird. everything going according to plan, you could have entered here or here or here and have a better stop loss and such a better take profit. What am I expecting now? Nothing, because we are bearish on the daily but bullish on the 4 hour. I was expecting a pullback to this area, also the EMA, and it looked like that's what happened. But are we going to create a new lower low to keep selling? I am interested on that. On the daily, I wouldn't buy having such a massive bearish movement, so not for me. So if anything, I'll sell. But the EMA is also right here, so let's watch out for that. We have also been on this zone for the last till May, so I'm gonna be watching out for that. Are we gonna transition to this area or not? We'll see. Use the JPY. I don't know if I want to talk about it, to be honest. But I was waiting such a long time for price to come all the way up here. We came through with a beautiful price action of the EMA. I do not like these massive wicks. I kind of got away from this mark from USD/JPY for this from this pair on the last week because it was messing a lot with my psychology, and I don't know. I just felt like taking a break from it. What can I expect now? Hey, on the weekly, we are very much bearish. On the daily, it looks like we're very bearish. If you count this as an elbow, then it looks way better for taking trades, but I have my mental conflicts about is this an elbow or not. I wouldn't call it an elbow for now. I just think it's like a 75-25. What can I expect? Maybe a pullback to buy. That's it. I don't have nothing else, to be honest. I'm trying to see if the EMA comes all the way up here, then we can have something else or more things to play. Or if anything, I want to see how far can this bullish action keep going to see if I can then take a sell from this support and resistance area. If that does not happen, I'm not taking trades here. I do not like such massive wicks. Basically, every day I think we had these massive wicks. Well, not every day, but I mean, if you wanted to enter here, let's say, if you wanted to enter here, you probably got stopped out by this wick. If you wanted to enter here, let's say, I mean, if you wanted to enter here for a reason, I don't know. I'm gonna skip this pair for now, but I told you what I could be expecting. Euro GBP, wow, I was not expecting such a fast response to this, but it happened. Massive reaction, excellent reaction of the EMA, last previous structure point and area to keep going to the upside. Now, where is this bullish price action gonna end? I don't know if we're gonna come all the way up here, but it just calls my attention that if I do this, and if I move it to the left, look at this amazing support and resistance level. Look how the price, look how the price was just bouncing from one to the other, and eventually it kept going to the downside after being below this zone. So what could I be expecting? I can expect, when I raise this for now, but I can expect this price to shift bearish now that we have a new higher high, higher low. I think that's actually very good, so we can have a impulse to the downside, maybe be below this area. Rejection of the last period structure point, and just take a trade like this, similar to this one, where my take profit is gonna be probably same as here, around the EMA and this support and resistance zone. If that does not happen, I do not have anything planned for buys, to be honest. Even though this could look amazing, whatever, it's only the 4 hour. I mean, the daily too, but no. Euro JPY, talking about the euro and such a massive, such a bullish price action that had on the last 2 weeks, maybe. It just calls my attention here that we are approaching a support and resistance area similar to Euro GBP. So on Euro JPY, I'm gonna be waiting to see if we have a rejection of this area to then sell. It does not look very clear right now, I know, but I think this could happen maybe towards the end of the week or the next week. CAD JPY, I added this to my watch list because, as you can see, we finally broke through and got out of this this choppy market that I did not like. Now, it looks like higher high, higher low, last period structure point, rejection, and we are going to the upside. I want to see if we can break through this EMA, but for now, I do like the opportunities to buy. I do not count any of these as an elbow, so higher high, higher low. Let's see if we can break through and create a new bullish price action to then have a pullback reaction of the last period structure point to keep buying. Although the last period structure point is going to be this one, so I just want to see. What happens. As you can see, if we use this as support, we can get all the way up here. If anything, a good area to take profits, it's either here or here. I'm just making this very fast, but there's nothing sure on any of the pairs, to be honest. We just came from such a fast-paced or high volatility weeks, so I think this week might be a little bit more to settle down and see where the market wants to move, because a lot of these markets are or have been on this area, for example, and it looks like they're having a transition to a new area, to another area. So this is basically what I want to see on basically all these pairs. Where is the price gonna be at to buy or sell maybe the next week? I don't see myself taking many trades this week, but hey, these weeks have to happen. We need these weeks and they are good for the markets. NCD JPY, as you can see, it bothers me again as the other JPYs that we haven't been able to break through this EMA. Now we are bullish, daily bullish, 4-hour bullish as well. I love the idea of this price action just going bullish, having a rejection of this area, psychological number, and area. Let's see. This was the last period structure point. It looks like we are at the last period structure point. So this could be a good opportunity to buy as of now, actually. But I'm going to take it slow and wait for a couple of days. Guys, to be honest, none of these markets looks very clear. Some of them can look very clear if they have some great moves, but if not, then we are gonna be waiting to see if we transition for new areas. A lot of pullbacks expected, a lot of EMAs, making this a little bit more complicated to analyze, but this is what we have for the week, and I think this is gonna be a great week for the market. So new opportunities can arise. This is gonna be everything for this video. I hope you can find some good opportunities either in the market or to level up as a trader mentally. So just watch out for that, and I'll see you guys on the next video.